concept that really changed not just my career as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, but it really changed my life in its entirety. And there's three concepts in this video that build this entire way of thinking for me. And I'm going to tell you guys what they are. And especially in this day and age, in 2025 and 2026, and just this new era of distraction that we're in, there's so many distractions around. This way of thinking, not only being aware of it, but these concepts that I'll teach you in this video are going to help you get more out of your time, which is what's really going to help you blow up your business, your fitness, anything you're pursuing and chasing and working towards in life. These concepts are going to help you achieve those goals a hell of a lot faster. And they're not only both tactical, but also very conceptual as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Concept number one is understanding the types of tasks that come across your plate every single day. And these are the four. You're gonna have attractive tasks, and then you're gonna have productive tasks. And let's start at the bottom. Right here, you get stuff that's attractive, but very unproductive. Think all the fun stuff. It could be scrolling on TikTok and going on Instagram and YouTube. It could be playing video games. It could be watching Netflix. It could be anything that's really fun to do, but it's incredibly unproductive. It doesn't help you achieve your goals. It's purely entertainment. It releases a lot of dopamine. That's like the biggest litmus test. If it releases a lot of dopamine and you enjoy it, or you're just kind of laying there, like just kind of like the feeling I like to call it is just lazy enjoyment, then it falls in this bucket of distract. Now let's go to the unnecessary work. Unnecessary work is stuff that's unproductive and unattractive. So for example, this could be stuff that like you have to do. It's not productive to your business, but you're really pissed off doing it. Like for example, the other day I had to go to the DMV to go get a new license because I recently moved to Miami. That's incredibly unnecessary. You know, I don't have to do it. It's unproductive. It doesn't make me more money. And I don't like, driving to the DMV and waiting in line to get a new license. Necessary work is the stuff that's productive, helps you see a result, but it's very unattractive. For example, you might be a marketing or a sales guy, but in your business, you have to look at payroll. That's very unattractive, something you don't like to do, but helps you, helps your business maintain itself and helps your employees, get paid so they can actually continue doing work. Stuff like that is necessary work, but it's productive, but unattractive. And then you've got your purposeful work. This is the stuff that you're pretty good at, and it's also productive. So for example, me, I like marketing, writing advertisements, reading webinars, improving our webinars. Those are things that I enjoy. That's very purposeful work for me. The way you know that it's purposeful work is it's things you like to do. It helps you obviously move the needle in your business, but just as a general sense, you feel very comfortable doing them. Like it seems effortless. Things like that are definitions of purposeful work. Now, before I move on to our next concept, why is this important? It's very important for you to understand what these tasks are, because in concept 2, I'm going to break down what you can do to eliminate these things, and then how to deal with different types of tasks up here. Because at the end of the day, guys, yes, there's always going to be tasks in life, and you can't just avoid them or shun them out. But there are things that you can do to make sure that you can buy back your time from these things that are eating up your focus and making you less productive. So, and we'll talk about those when we get to concept 2 in distractions. Now let's talk about the main point in this video. And this is a concept, guys, that has really helped me change my life. It's helped me get more out of life, and it's helped me live a lot more meaningful of a life. It can do the exact same things for you if you just understand it and you're aware of it. And it's this concept right here called attentional space. If you took your brain and drew it on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper, this is what it is. All your attentional space is the mental capacity we have to focus. And why is that important? Because as an entrepreneur, guys, you have so many things to work on, and you only have so much attentional space. And so I see a lot of entrepreneurs put so many things on their plate. I see them, pack their calendars from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And they're like, well, today I ran payroll, and today I shot some content, and today I talked to my operations team, and today I watched a couple YouTube videos on how to get better at sales, and I did all these different things. The reason that you're not making the progress you want in life, guys, is because this space is being violated by all of the wrong things. Your attentional space should only hold two things: what you're currently working on or doing, and what you intend to accomplish. That's the most correct thing for you to work on as a business owner or as a sales guy or as a content creator, whatever you are. The only thing that should be in your attentional space is what you intend to accomplish and what you're currently doing, and the right things that are going to move the needle for your business. Productivity is not about cramming more into our days, but about doing the right thing in each moment. The two most important things in business, guys, are that you do things right, but you also do the right things. At the end of the day, you have to work on the right things to see the lift and the growth in your business. Understanding, guys, that productivity will always decrease the number of things you focus on. If you allow that attentional space, your brain bank, to get violated by 10, 12, 15 different things that you need to do in a day, your productivity and your focus is going to go down. Not only will the important things not get prioritized, all those things, guys, you're not going to do those well either, because you're just splitting all the time you have in a day across all those things, which means each one, the next one, is going to get done just as worse as the last one. Productivity is not about doing a bunch of things. It's about doing the small 1 to 2 right things very, very well. And that's what's going to help you see a lot of progress in your life. So now, guys, let's move on to concept number 2. And concept number 2 is important because while you understand, guys, the type of tasks, now let's understand the types of distractions. And the types of distractions are important to understand, just as important to understand, because if you have tasks, the enemy of tasks, guys, is distractions. That's what's pulling your time away from tasks. You don't want your attention to be focused on distractions, because if your time is ate up by distractions, guys, that's just low-hanging fruit that we can instantly eliminate that can make us way more productive. You have things you're in control of, and then you have that are enjoyable and not enjoyable. On the bottom, guys, you'll see stuff that we're in control of. That's very fun. This is like the stuff that's on your phone, guys. Chatting with friends, scrolling social media, getting on Twitter, YouTube, Netflix. Those are the things that we have control over that are very fun. Then we have things that we have control over but are really annoying. We have like emails, we have like management tasks, stuff like, for example, guys, that we had to do, like me going and getting my new license, or maybe, for example, you have to go grocery shopping because you kind of need groceries. Things like this, very, very annoying, and you have control to change them. Up here, things that you have no control over but that are annoying. For example, these could be like mandatory meetings that you have to be on. These could be, for example, like requirements from your boss or your sales manager. These are things that you don't have control over. They're annoying, but they have to get done. And then you got stuff that you have no control over, but that is very fun. Calls from your family, like maybe mom or dad, maybe your romantic partner. You have date night every week at a certain time. And these are the things that, again, are fun, but you have no control over. And so here's how to handle them, guys. And this is very, very important, because the bottom half you can take care of. This is where you're going to see the biggest ROI, guys. The stuff that you have control over that's on the bottom half of this, you can deal with all of this ahead of time. The stuff that's over here, easily you can put your phone on Do Not Disturb, block off your calendar, delete social media apps first thing in the morning if those are, distracting to you. And then the stuff that you don't have control of, the stuff that's annoying, like, for example, going to the DMV, I could have tried to did it online. For example, going grocery shopping. Instead, you can just Instacart stuff, and that will buy you back a lot of time from driving to the grocery store, shopping, checking out, coming back home, unpacking. You save a fuck ton of time there. So everything that's at the bottom of this square, guys, y'all should deal with ahead of time, and that's where you're going to see the biggest lift in your time. And then boom, stuff up here, deal with it, and then get back on track. Some things up here you can eliminate, but again, if some things are mandatory, sometimes you can't. So deal with it and then get back on track. And then in this quadrant, guys, just surrender and enjoy. At times you can't, sometimes you make prior commitments and it's not worth canceling and sometimes creating other issues in your life. So stuff like this, surrender, enjoy it, and be a little relaxed and laid back about it. You don't have to take life so serious here. A couple things that I like to do, guys, that are very high ROI that'll help you focus a hell of a lot easier and kill these distractions and make sure that they don't take your time away from what matters. Number one, phone always on do not disturb, guys. You can make a special do not disturb, guys, that doesn't allow any calls through, any text through, or any notifications, period. That's the do not disturb mode that you want, because at the end of the day, when you see your phone light up, even if it's on silent, or as soon as you get a text message and you get the sound, those things are incredibly distracting, guys. They're very sensory. Not only does it distract you here, but it distracts your eyesight. And those things are enemies of focus when you're trying to work and get things done. Number two, necessities and hands reach. If you're at your desk, guys, or you're at a coffee shop, wherever you're working, make it easy for you to not get up. I understand if you have to go to the restroom or something like that, but if you need water, if you need a snack, those are things, guys, you should have next to you all the time. Have your water with you to make sure you're hydrated, or your electrolyte of choice. If you're prone to working, that makes you very hungry too. You want to get up and eat, bring a couple snacks with you that you can have, and then stick to your computer maybe for another hour. You just bought yourself another hour before you get up and kind of walk away from work and go get some food. That right there, guys, super high ROI and helps you really stay focused for even a longer period of time than you normally would. And then noise canceling headphones, guys. A lot of sensory shit is your enemy. It distracts you so hard. Even me, when I work, I don't like windows around me and I don't like a bunch of noise around me. So I don't work in my home. I go and work in a conference room that has no windows, and I put my AirPods in to ensure that if someone's walking in the hallway or maybe someone walks into the conference room, I'm not distracted. You have to limit those sensory distractions, and the best way to do that, work in a quiet room with no windows if possible. If there are windows, close the blinds, and then eliminate all of your auditory distractions by using noise canceling headphones. And these things, guys, will help you really kill distractions fully. And when you do those things, guys, this is what you're going to see. You're going to be able to fit those complex tasks into that essential space, no problem. And naturally, that space will also be bigger because, again, once you kill distractions, that space, you can fit the right things in here because think, your attentional space, sometimes distractions come in here and knock you off target, focusing on the right things. When you kill distractions, guys, that space becomes bigger, and then you can fill that space with more productive tasks or things from the first concept that you can work on that'll help you put in more effort, get shit done quicker, and you'll see results in your life a lot faster. Now let's move to concept 3, which I could say could be the most important of the 3. And it's understanding your attentional space over time and then how to reset and replenish it. You cannot expect your attentional space to be maximized throughout the day. When you wake up in the morning, it's going to be at its peak. You're going to be fresh off a great night of sleep, I hope. You'll be well hydrated and well rested, and you're ready to go. Your brain wants to attack things for the day. But if you put off actually getting to work in the afternoon, in the mid-afternoon, the late afternoon, or the evening, your attentional space is going to shrink, guys, and that's where your productivity is going to drop. Doing this is almost as bad as allowing yourself to be distracted by things like your phone, friends calling you, unattractive work, and things like that, guys, are just not going to help you make progress in life. So understand that you are most fresh, you are most aware, and you will be most productive when you first wake up in the morning. And the longer that you wait, guys, the more this space is naturally just going to shrink throughout the day. It's how humans are wired. It's biological. It's evolutionary. So what you need to do, guys, is focus on working on the most important things right when you wake up. If you like to go to the gym in the morning, perfectly fine. If you like to have breakfast or have your coffee, do that and then immediately go to work. So that way you can start using this space, and naturally as the day goes on and as you work, that space will get smaller, but you always want to take advantage and start doing your most important work when you're fresh and most aware and in a state where you can knock out your most important things very well. And now, what do you do when it's time to take a step back? What if you're getting tired? What if you're getting less efficient? What do you do? Well, number one, how to know it's time to take a step back, and some things that you can do to make sure that you limit step backs as much as possible and you're in peak operating condition all the time. Number one, if you're switching between tasks, guys, like you have a bunch of different things, but every 5 to 10 minutes you're switching tabs, you're not working on what you're supposed to do, that's when you know you need to take a step back. Your attentional space is shrunk and you're not being productive. Being very reactive without intention. If you're getting irritated working on something, guys, that's the number one indicator that you're just fried, you need a break, you need a reset. That's how I am. The biggest indication is if I'm getting frustrated at doing something, that's when I need to know I need to take a step back. Getting tasks done slower. Guys, if it's taking you very long, if you're drawing blanks, if you are working and maybe it's been 30 minutes and you've got 5 minutes worth of work done, that's how you know you're inefficient. You need to take a step back and reset because your attentional space is really small. Opting to do less mindful work. If you feel challenged or you're dreading doing something that you know you need to do after you've worked a couple hours, that right there, guys, you need to take a step back, end your time block, go reset, go get a snack, go for a walk, and come back and get right to it. These things, guys, just be aware of them. If you're aware of them, there's no point putting in effort when you're not in a state to get the most out of yourself. That's a perfect time when you need to take a step back and reset and recharge yourself. And then here's some non-negotiables, guys. Number one, the most important is sleep. I don't care what you say, the most productive and successful people on the planet, like Jeff Bezos said, the number one thing he will never compromise on is sleep, because you need that to reset and rest and make sure, guys, that your brain can get the proper rest it can so you can wake up and be able to think critically. When I don't get sleep, guys, I am incredibly irritable. I'm incredibly tired. I can't focus. I can't think clearly. I'm not aware. You're not sharp. And you guys are like that as well. Unless you're some genetic anomaly, if you don't have sleep, you're just not going to be doing well as an entrepreneur. So make sure that you get sleep. And the best thing you can do, guys, is go to sleep at the same time every night. Try to do it before midnight. Maybe if you can go to sleep at 10 p.m., even better. But if you're one of those guys that's going to sleep at 3 a.m. and you think that you can't do it, here's what you do. You wake up early one day, you suffer, and then you go to sleep early that night. And then you start that new pattern. Going to sleep early, get your 8 hours, so that way you can be up and fresh and ready to take on the things that you need to do and do them well. Number two is timing. Again, that goes back to the chart on this concept. Make sure you wake up in the morning, take a quick shower, do what you need to do, and then get straight to work. Grab your coffee. If you like to go to the gym, do that. Have your breakfast and then get straight to work. So that way your attentional space is at the biggest it'll be throughout the biggest it'll be at any moment in the day. And then periodic breaks, guys. I like to work in time blocks. I highly recommend you do as well. 60 to 90 minutes is perfect. I do about 90 minutes. And then about that 90-minute mark, you take a break, 15 to 20 minutes, go grab a snack, go take a walk outside. I like to sit on my patio and enjoy the breeze. Do whatever you like to do to reset and give your brain a moment to detach from work momentarily. But then, here's the caveat, you need to get right back to it. Set a timer, go back into another work block, and address and finish what you need to do and what you started. And then here are the takeaways, guys. When you are aware and start to take these concepts, put them very top of mind, you will start to see huge changes in your life, guys. The biggest one is you're going to feel a lot more in control. You're in control of your attention and your time. Being in control of your attention, guys, is incredibly important. Being able to be distracted by your phone or social media when you have goals and aspirations is a crutch. As an entrepreneur, it's a crutch. You need to be able to take control of your attention and be able to channel it and put it towards the things that you know are going to help grow your business. If you don't have the ability to do that, or do it well, you're not going to make a lot of progress as an entrepreneur. You're just going to be working, and feeling stuck because you're not making progress. But it's something as simple as you just are not in control of how your attention is channeled and put towards things in life. Your life becomes a lot more meaningful, guys. This one is powerful because your life becomes meaningful when your efforts start to give you results in life. When you know you're working on something and all the work that you've put in, all the hours of content you shot, all the offers that you launched, the funnels you've built, the sales calls you took, those start to give you the results like big paydays, commission checks, tons of views, more clients, your life becomes meaningful because the work that you put in is getting you results. And that's so, so powerful, guys. As an entrepreneur, that's why we do this. You know, we put in work to get freedom and have money to, you know, give freedom for ourselves, buy things that we want, buy things that our family wants, be able to provide. And we do those because our efforts get us results. And then those things give us meaning in life. And then you get more done and you think a lot more clearly. How much better would your life be, guys, if what used to take you 7 days or 2 weeks, you could get done in half the time? It'd be incredibly powerful. And then thinking more clearly, guys, how often are decisions that we make really important as an entrepreneur? I'd argue that most of them are. And what if we took our decision making skills from maybe 10% of the time we're right to maybe 20% or 30%? In business, you make a lot of mistakes and you make a lot of decisions that sometimes don't pan out. But what if you could think more clearly and think more in depth and take the amount of decisions that you make right and double it? That'd be incredibly powerful as a business owner. You make a lot less mistakes, you lose a lot less money, but you also make a lot more money because you see opportunities, you see a lot more opportunities, but you also see better opportunities. And then I like to leave you guys with this quote, guys. Your attention is the most powerful tool to live and work with greater productivity, creativity, and purpose. I hope you spend it wisely. I can't say how powerful this quote is and how much it's meant to me. Once I realized that my attention was the number one thing that I owned and that I could decide where it went and I could decide how I put it and how I used it, that's when my life changed. I started making more money. I started getting in better shape because I realized that I took my attention away from distractions and I started putting it towards the things that I really wanted in life and that I said I wanted in life. And I was actually going to put more of it there. As you take your attention away from the things that don't benefit you towards the things that do benefit you, that's when you start to be a lot more productive, a lot more creative. You start to see results, and then your life becomes meaningful and you start feeling like you're living with purpose.